Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you all here on this beautiful fall day out there. My name is Heiko, and I'll be the one speaking today. And the topic for today is, I always want to say gratitude, but actually the topic for today is forgiveness. As I've stated in the beginning, that today's topic is about finding forgiveness, how to forgive. Because forgiveness is one of the most beautiful forms of love, and it comes forth from our hearts. And for this meditation, I was hoping that it would be a contemplative meditation, because I want everybody to be able to have a chance while we are in meditation to consider forgiveness and the beautiful things of love in our hearts and where we are at with this subject inside. I am reminded when I started thinking about putting my talk together about how all of us, our beautiful souls, before we came into this body, we flew in with this exhilaration of becoming this entity that we see here in front of us. That we were chosen to be born and to live this life and to have an impact in this beautiful bubble of creation, this bubble of duality, to experience it first and foremost as a clean soul that has no judgment about the creation in and of itself. And if we could all just come to that place within us that is that purity inside of us, and let us remember that pain and suffering and all the things that we struggle with on a daily basis, they are not us. Our pure soul isn't that. There's a difference. And our pure soul is that chip of love from the great divine far away. Well, distance isn't relative, but it is from that central place where we all have come from. And we've come here to connect with duality and to help right the ship, to help infuse love into this creation. And I believe that souls encapsulated in this body have that connection of the ability to bring forth full consciousness, full Christ consciousness into a place that also exalts itself in being duality, being all those aspects that are not unified. Because in duality, we find movement and we find learning and strength, and also the opposites of that: arrogance, weakness, and all those things. While I was doing my research on this subject, I listened to some YouTube speakers, and one of them said, and this made an impact on me, is that all relationships in duality are terminal. And if we think about that, we can sense the truth of it. Everything that we have is governed by time. There's a beginning and there's an end. And so it causes us to say, hey, this moment I can feel and appreciate what I have in high gratitude, because I know the next moment will be different. But at the same time, we can also generate new connections here and build new platforms of existence here. And we know that our loved ones will come and go. We know that our beliefs will change. We know that the things that we feel are foundational are there because they serve us in the moment, and we should appreciate them. But we should always also remember that life has a movement and that things always also change. So where this lack of foundation can jar us is when we put our understanding of our existence and our beliefs somewhere deep inside, and we think, okay, that's definitely the place where it is inside of me. And then the universe reminds us, oh, no, we are here to learn. And it will find a way to that vulnerability inside us. It'll find a way to jar us, to jar that thing loose that we think we have it set. And we hasten to try to figure out, where is the ground now? Where is that foundational truth that I can depend upon now in my thinking? And the more this happens to us, the more refined our desires and our thinking on this becomes. I believe that most of us have found the spiritual path because we are looking for that foundation within us. We're looking for the thing that cannot be always pulled out from under us. We come to that divine purity in ourselves as the only thing that is not changing in all of this movement of the world of creation. we slowly come to that. We slowly make peace with the fact that there is a ton of pain and hardship in this world. And if we pan out a little bit, we find that our own problems might be much, much less than what is happening to other human beings, other spirits who have come into this world just as we have. Wars, famine, people are experiencing things far, far different than what you and I are. And in gratitude, we start to build an acceptance, and we start to feel it's okay that some of the things that we can think of in our lives that have been done for us to help support us, if we approach them with gratitude, with a conscious understanding that these things have happened to me, but they didn't have to. But I want to have gratitude for that. And we can start to offset this equation where all the things that are wrong per se, that our mind is wired to see all the wrong things. That is one of the things our human mind knows right away. And it takes an effort for us to also see all the good things that we have in our lives. Find 6 or 10 things for everything that you find wrong. It's a practice. And in that practice, we find forgiveness. We find that we are here to help right the ship. And our little soul, among 8 billion plus, is able to remind the world of love, and that ripples out. Now we have to dive deep in ourselves. We have to find the things in our spiritual makeup, in our chakras, in the places where we like to stuff stuff, whether it be down in the lower regions of our chakras or right at the heart level. The things that in our spiritual practice we have to do is we have to forgive ourselves that these things are in us, that these things affected us, and that we have come here to shine. But in order to do so, allowing these things to release is important. In our meditation today, find those things, touch them, examine things. They helped us find the places that nature, duality, will eventually find anyway. But if we do it ourselves, practicing the releasing of that, we're kind of ahead of the game. We're not getting towed around by the nose. We flex our ability to be present, to be humble, and to be loving and kind. I want to read something that it comes from The Man's Eternal Quest. It's from Yogananda. A little section. It's called The Sons of God. And I want you to think about how this may tie into this. In India, the name for this universal Christ consciousness can also be called Krishna consciousness, because the consciousness of our great avatar Krishna is like that of Jesus Christ, who was in tune with the Christ consciousness in everything. These great ones had discovered the one life behind all life. By diving concentration and will in meditation, they had withdrawn their consciousness from the material world and seen that behind everything in creation is the one reflection of God, the only Son of God, the Christ or Krishna consciousness. Jesus, Krishna, Buddha, Babaji, all are Christs. They have had expanded their consciousness to receive Christ consciousness. St. John declared, as many as received him, the Christ consciousness that was manifested in Jesus, to them gave he power to become the sons of God. My Guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar, manifested the Christ consciousness. He was also calm, and all my thoughts and feelings were reflected in the mirror of his calmness. Sri Yukteswar's wasn't interested in what others were saying. He was interested in what they were thinking. It was impossible to disassemble with a true teacher, such as my Guru. His consciousness was aware of all that was going on. And I read that, and I was thinking about how some of us were fortunate to be in Norm's presence, who, when I was reflecting on this, I felt also that in his presence, I made a choice, I suppose, and that is why he was my teacher and I his student. I opened up my heart and my inner self so that it was freely available for analysis or examination by my teacher. And I know that when it comes to checking in to your inner self, that is also required. You have to open up those areas where things are stuffed in and examine them. For we are all devotees of Kriya Yoga. And in that sense, we aspire to be open to the process. So let us sit upright now and prepare ourselves for meditation. To contemplate those places within that need our love and affection, to be able to find that footing where we have equilibrium to assess those things that we want to burn up into the light through meditation. And by that I mean loving light. One of the speakers that I listened to in preparing for this, his name is Fred Luskin. He's from a college professor from Berkeley. He stated that because of the fact that we live in duality, because life is terminal, in his words, I am not whole, and anything that reminds me of that needs to be stopped, should be criticized. We get mad at things that remind us that we are vulnerable. Take offense to the things in our lives that make us feel vulnerable. And we spend a lot of time keeping our vulnerability protected. He referred to it as bunker building around ourselves. And the only way to really remedy that is through gratitude toward others, to be aware of all the things that we are blessed with. And to forgive the pain and the strife within us. For we all seek clarity in that regard, because we all want to thrive and truly show our greatest colors and strengths. And we can all help each other to do that. Don't let our minds go into heavy criticizing. Pursue all the good things and start activating that in our minds. And we do it with our own free will to support that effort. And the change happens around us and around those we love, our community, the world. Gratitude and forgiveness counters vulnerability, but it is also we present our vulnerability, our love out there when we do that. And it is a great act. And when we tie it with our pure soul out into the world, we start to present our true self out there. I wanted to read a couple of things about how about what he was saying. He said, if you want to be happy, care a little bit more for other people. Care a little less about yourself. Complain a little less. And appreciate what you have. Appreciate what you have a little more. If we don't practice gratitude, he says, we tend to have a free-floating hostility within us. And I'm sure we all know that free-floating hostilities can bounce everywhere, erupt at any time. Divine Spirit, we are all here because we reflect your love. Through the Christ consciousness, which we hold so dear. May our hearts open wide and be filled with gratitude and forgiveness. For we love this world and we are grateful to participate, to be here now in the presence of that divine love expressing itself through all my brothers and sisters. Amen.
We're free to try again. This time we're gonna win. The light that shone within is shining here again. Let's try that all together. We're free to try again. This time we're gonna win. The light that shone within is shining here again. Okay, the next verse goes, we're free to fly again on wings that unfold within. Our spirits will ride the wind. God's love will bind us again. We're free to fly again on wings that unfold within. Our spirits will ride the wind. God's love will bind us again. So let's try that again. We're free to try again. This time we're gonna win. The light that shone within is shining here again. We're free to fly again. garden, right here and now. The forge and the plow are our virtues, and we've got a shepherd who loves his flock, who loves to walk and talk in the valley of light. And we got each other, brothers and sisters, so close to the mother, a return of the light. And we got forever and a day to laugh and play and to sing God's praise. We're free to try again. This time we're gonna win. The light that shone within is shining here again. We're free to fly again on wings that unfold within. Our spirits will ride the wind. God's love will bind us again. And we got each other, brothers and sisters, so close to the mother, a return of the light. And we got forever and a day to laugh and play and to sing God's praise. We're free to try again. This time we're gonna win. The light that shone within is shining once again. We'll be free to fly again on wings that unfold within. Our spirits will ride the wind. God's love will bind us again. Our spirits will ride the wind. God's love